Deion Sanders takes playful jab at Barack Obama after win. After Colorado's impressive 34-7 victory over Arizona, head coach Deion Sanders couldn't resist responding to former President Barack Obama's lighthearted remark about the Buffaloes having a couple good players. In a post-game interview, Sanders expressed his admiration for Obama but playfully added, "I heard what he said. You know?" His tone suggested that while he appreciated the former president, he felt the need to clarify that Colorado's talent runs deeper than just a few standout players. "President, I heard what you said. Man," Sanders continued, come on, we got more than two good players." He emphasized his focus on people rather than politics, suggesting that politicians often have to navigate tricky waters. Sanders also had more pressing matters to discuss, like Travis Hunter's injury that kept him out of the second half and the solid performance from quarterback Shedeur Sanders, who threw for 250 yards and 2 touchdowns. Receiver LaJohntay Wester shone brightly with 8 catches for 127 yards. Obama's original comment came during the rally, where he acknowledged Colorado's talent but reminded the crowd that Arizona had beaten them twice in a row, encouraging fans not to underestimate the Wildcats. Despite the playful banter, Sanders has his team on a solid path, improving to 5-2 overall and 3-1 in the Big 12. They're just one win away from bowl eligibility in Sanders' second season. Perhaps after the dust settles from the political season, he and Obama can chat about the Buffaloes' success. Tennessee's thrilling victory over Alabama, a game to remember. American football Knoxville. 10. What an unforgettable Saturday at Neyland Stadium. As the crowd erupted, one ecstatic fan in an orange golf shirt proclaimed, "Every 2 years, we're gonna do this," expletive. And he wasn't wrong. Once again, Tennessee triumphed over Alabama, sending the Vols faithful into a frenzy as they stormed the field, tore up turf, and took down the goalposts. This win marks a new dawn in Knoxville, while Alabama faces a storm of questions for the first time in years. "What a night on Rocky Top," said Tennessee head coach Josh Heupel, his voice hoarse from the excitement. "This is college football at its finest. A tale of two halves." The game began with both teams struggling to find their rhythm. The first half saw sloppy play and missed opportunities, with both offenses faltering under pressure. Iamaleava, a redshirt freshman, faced a tough outing, and the scoreboard reflected a lackluster 7-0 lead for Alabama at halftime. But then, the second half turned everything around. Tennessee found its stride, tying the game and eventually taking the lead with a stunning 16-yard touchdown pass from Iamaleava to Chris Brazzell too. High drama in the final minutes. With the clock ticking down, Alabama had its shot to reclaim the lead, but a crucial unsportsmanlike conduct penalty and an interception from Milroe ended their hopes, sealing the 24-17 victory for the Vols. Key stats. Tennessee. Iamaleava finished with 194 yards, 1 TD, and 1 INT. Alabama. Milroe went 25 of 45 for 239 yards, 1 TD, and 2 INTs. Celebrations at Neyland. As the game came to a close, Vols fans flooded the field, celebrating with cigars and singing along to Dixieland Delight. Unlike previous celebrations, this one felt different, more like a stepping stone than the peak. Beating Alabama has become part of a bigger goal for Tennessee: playoff aspirations and possibly a conference championship. "We have a chance to be a really good team," Heupel stated, embodying the hope and ambition in Knoxville. What's next for both teams? As Tennessee looks ahead, Alabama faces uncertainty. This rivalry game showed that while the Vols are on the rise, the Crimson Tide may need to regroup. Join us as we dissect this thrilling game and what it means for the future of both teams. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Go Big Orange! Number 5 Georgia dominates number 1 Texas in 30-15 victory. In a stunning matchup, number 5 Georgia delivered a powerful performance, defeating number 1 Texas 30-15 and marking the end of the Longhorns' unbeaten streak in the SEC. Georgia jumped out to a commanding 23-0 halftime lead, capitalizing on Texas's 4 turnovers and quarterback struggles. Head coach Kirby Smart expressed his pride in the team, emphasizing that many doubted their chances. "Nobody believed us," he stated after the game. referencing the challenges they faced. Despite closing as a 3.5-point underdog, the Bulldogs proved their critics wrong. Texas's offensive struggles. Texas struggled mightily in the first half, managing just 15 yards over their first 5 possessions. Quinn Ewers was replaced by Arch Manning in hopes of sparking the offense. But the change backfired. Manning's first drive ended in a punt, and a fumble on his second drive set up a Georgia field goal just before halftime. Returning to the second half, Ewers led a scoring drive that narrowed Georgia's lead to 23-15. However, a controversial pass interference call negated a crucial interception by Texas defensive back Jahdae Barron, further dampening their momentum and leading to even more frustration from the Texas fanbase. Georgia's resilient response. Despite Texas's brief comeback, Georgia quickly reasserted their dominance. A crucial third-down pass from Carson Beck to Arian Smith, followed by a 43-yard connection to Oscar Delp, set the stage for Trevor Etienne's third rushing touchdown of the night, effectively sealing the game. Defensive dominance. Georgia's defense was relentless, with Halon Walker recording 3 of the team's 5 first-half sacks. They stifled Texas's offense, forcing them to settle for field goals even with short fields, showcasing their ability to capitalize on turnovers. Both quarterbacks struggled. Beck threw 3 interceptions, while Ewers had a pick and 2 fumbles. With Georgia winning decisively despite mistakes, questions arise about the future Heisman hopes for either QB. What's next for Georgia? As the Bulldogs celebrate this significant victory, attention turns to the AP Top 25 rankings. Oregon's impressive 35-0 win over Purdue could propel them to number 1. While Ohio State and Penn State's standings remain uncertain, with Georgia's recent performance, it will be intriguing to see if they climb the rankings despite their loss earlier in the season. Alvin Kamara denies trade rumors amid Saints struggles. In the wake of the New Orleans Saints' 5-game losing streak, speculation has arisen about running back Alvin Kamara's future with the team, especially with his contract set to rise to $25 million in 2025. Despite these factors, Kamara has publicly stated that he has not requested a trade and expressed a desire to finish his career in New Orleans. The rumors may have gained traction after Kamara left mandatory minicamp when discussions about a contract extension stalled. However, he did not hold out during training camp and has shown no signs of frustration or a wish to leave the team since the season began. The Saints face a pivotal moment as they sit at 2-5. With upcoming games against the Chargers and Panthers that could potentially bring them to 4-5 by the trade deadline. If they can turn things around, they may still be in the playoff hunt, making it less likely they would trade key players like Kamara. Conversely, if they struggle in those games, the team may consider moving on from veterans with expiring contracts. The decision becomes even more complicated if they split the next 2 games and find themselves at 3-6. A situation that could prompt significant discussions about the team's future direction. As the deadline approaches, how the Saints handle their roster will provide insight into their outlook for the rest of the season and beyond. Will they stand pat or start making moves? Only time will tell. Saquon Barkley fined for helmet incident against the Browns. In a surprising turn of events, Eagles running back Saquon Barkley has been hit with a hefty fine of $45,020 for unnecessary roughness after a controversial play against the Browns. During the first quarter, Barkley lowered his helmet at the end of a first down run. Although this incident went unpenalized on the field, it's a subsequent offense for Barkley, which explains the steep fine, a standard practice under the Collective Bargaining Agreement, CBA. In the game, Barkley struggled, finishing with 18 carries for just 47 yards and 2 receptions for 7 yards in the Eagles' narrow 20-16 victory. But he's set to bounce back in a big way this weekend as the Eagles face off against his former team, the Giants. Other fines from the Eagles-Browns matchup. The Eagles vs. Browns game wasn't just notable for Barkley. Here's a look at other players who faced fines. Eagles CB Isaiah Rodgers, fined $5.861 for unnecessary roughness, helmet use, during the opening kickoff. Browns OL Michael Dunn, fined $7.181 for unnecessary roughness, face mask, in the third quarter. Browns LB Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, fined $20,900 for unnecessary roughness, helmet use, in the second quarter. As Barkley prepares for a crucial game against the Giants, all eyes will be on how he adjusts his play style to avoid further penalties. Stay tuned for more updates.